Hi, this is a video on how to get you started with Minitab and how to uh, give you hints on your first homework assignment. So this is my Minitab window. It's open here and you can see that. So you should be able to get to this window once you click on Minitab. Now if you go to Minitab, there are two things. This is called the session window, and this is called the worksheet, where you have your data. So your data in the homework assignment comes in like 4 or 5 columns, but all your data should go in one column. The second set of data, I have 2 sets of data, goes in the second column, and if you have more data sets, they would go here. And this is where you start your measurement. So these are the data set 12, 9, 11, 10, and so on. So this is discrete data, and this is continuous data. Here's the data name is C1, or I can give it any name here. I call it set1. I could call it any different name. I call it set2. Okay, so you can call your data whatever you want. And here you have your file. This is if your data is somewhere else and you want to open it, so you can open project if it's, or open worksheet. If you want to, once you're done, you can save it as a project. The best way to do it is to save it as a project and email it to me, because then I can open it in my Minitab and check it out. And you can start by, you can put your name here. I'm going to put my name. Or the name of your teammates. You can put any comments you want here to address to me, also in the session window. So let's start with your homework assignment. So one of the questions you are asked is to say construct frequency, cumulative frequency, and relative frequency tables for your data. So to do that, you go to, and you have the instructions on the sheet itself. So you go to stat. That means you go to stat here, and then there's an arrow goes to tables. That's what takes you there. And then an arrow goes to tally. So this is tally individual variables. You click on that, and now I want data set 1 in this case. So I click on it, or I just type that, and I want counts, percents, cumulative counts. Now where do you want to store them? If you don't say anything, I will store them here in the session window, but you could put them here. So I'm gonna go and click, and there's my answer. I have 100 data points here, and the value 6 appeared 3 times, 7 appeared 8 times, and these are the percentages, the cumulative counts and the cumulative percentages. Okay. Another question you have is to do a histogram. I want to do a histogram on data set 2, and if you follow the instructions, just go to graph and select histogram. So there's different ways of doing graphs. Histogram is the one we want, and you could pick either the first or the sample one. The second one is with fit, so it shows you how the normal curve fits on that data. So let's do this. And I want my data set 2. I can write set 2 here. I can also write C2, or I can just simply go and click on this, double click on it, and it should appear here. And there are other options. I ignore them, we don't care about them, and then click, and there's your data. And fits it. Values go from 2 to 8. Your mean is around 5. It looks like coming from, it gives you the mean here and the standard deviation there, and how many measurements you had, 100 of them. Okay, and then you can save this separately, or part of your project, and send it. So another question you have is, how do you find mean, standard deviation, median, range for your data? And to do that, you just go to calc and click on column statistics, and look, you can get the sum. You can get any one of these, and you can only do one at a time, so whichever you want is fine. So I want the standard deviation. I want my input variable, I want that for C2. Where I want to store it, I want to keep it up there, and fine. Okay, there's the data set 1.31 something, the standard deviation. I can do that multiple times, and that's what you are asked to do, to find the mean, standard deviation, range, and median. And then what if I want all of them together? That's the part 3 of the questions. And then I go now to stat, and I go to basic statistics. Basic statistics, and then display descriptive statistics. Go to S2. I want the statistics, and I want all, so I click the ones I want, range and so on, and then click OK, and OK again, and gives me all the ones I asked for. Okay, and more, and the quartiles and so on. So that's how you do your descriptive statistics for any data set. Now let's go beyond that. Suppose I want to calculate probabilities of a binomial distribution. So in your, that's question 3 in your notes. So you go to, in this case, you go to calc and probability distributions. Where's my probability distributions? I want the binomial. Click on the binomial, and I want to compute the individual probability probabilities. I can get probabilities, cumulative probabilities, or inverse probabilities. So I want the probabilities. I want the number of trials, say 10, and the event probability is 0.3. It's like tossing 10 coins. The biased each has 0.3, and I want the input column, the probability of what, having how many. So I need that. I don't have one here, so I need it. I can't. So I have to cancel that and go there. Let me cancel, go back, say I want my input column to be here. I'll start with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops, oh, I made a mistake, so I want to shift through X. I start here because I started in the wrong column. Oh, I did. Okay, so I just do the first 6, but you can do the whole distribution. So I go to calc, probability distribution, and I want the binomial. You can do any other distribution this way. And again, I want the probabilities. I want number of trials, say 10, event probability 0.3. I want the first 6 probabilities. I can do all of them. My input column is C4, and my input optional storage, I can put that C5, or it can appear there. So let me go and just click on it, and you see it has, I have all the probabilities here. If I were to go back again, probability distributions, binomial, have everything, and now I will say I want to store this in C5, and then you can see nicely here, this would be my X, this would be the probability of my binomial equal, oops, can write it this way, X equal X. And I keep making that mistake. And you can do this for all 10. I can do it for one value or multiple values, and so on. So it says here, the second question says generate random data. Basically, if you were to toss 50 coins or 30 coins with the, and you want to generate the outcome for 50 of these, 50 trials. So again, you can go to calc. Now you go to random data, binomial, I want to generate how many of these? It said 50. Let me generate, say, 60 in this case. I want to store them in column C7. You can pick any place to store them, doesn't matter. Number of trials, I want them to be 30, and I want to use 0.5, but you should use 0.3, and click OK, and that's the data. So this is, so if I toss 30 coins, the first time I observe 12 heads, second time 16 heads, 14 heads, and so on. Okay, you can store them. If you don't store them here, they will appear up there, which is fine. And then you can say comment. So you can also comment on this. So if you're looking at this data here and say you generate your report, you can generate it here. You say the standard deviation of this data set is equal to the standard deviation will be 1.317, and I got that from here, okay, and so on. So you can generate your report right in minitab. And anything else? So we can also, for the, say, let me jump to go to normal distribution. So suppose I want to compute the probability of a normal distribution. So also if I go to my, I want to find the probability of z less than, say, 1.5 or something in a probability distribution. So I'm going to go to calc and go to probability distribution. Now I want to go to the normal distribution. Normal is up here. So I want the cumulative probability. I want the mean to be maybe 3. I want the standard deviation to be 1.5, and I want, I just want the probability. So I want one value, so I click on this. Instead of, if I want multiple values as I did here, I can go and I can list them in column 8, say, and put the output in column 9. But if I want just one value, I would say I want the probability that my normal distribution is less than 2.15, and optional storage, I can put here what I want. If I don't, it's going to appear there. Okay, so I click OK, and you can see that this is x. This is the probability of x less or equal to x. For this distribution, it's normal with mean 3 and standard deviation 1.5. I can do the opposite. So I go to calc, probability distribution. We go back to normal. Now if I want the inverse probability. So if I have a probability, what would be the corresponding value? So if my probability is 0.725, what would be the value on the line that corresponds to this probability? And click on it, and so that's my probability, which is p of x less or equal to x, and the x value that gives me that is 3.88. And your notes, you are asked to do this for the standard normal, but they are really the same. Okay, that should be get you started and make you able to do the first homework assignment, and wish you good luck. Thanks. Bye.